Now in a few days it's my brother's birthday, and because we're all in lockdown I can't actually go visit him. It's his 30th as well. And I do actually have some decent presents all wrapped up, ready to go. But I thought it might also be fun to make something from his favourite television show, Breaking Bad. So ladies and gentlemen and all variations thereupon, without further ado, let's cook.
Boom, 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 boom.
So the first step is to add 500 millilitres of water. And then pour into this and this is the technical term, crap ton of sugar. The recipe calls for 750 grams, but I don't have a scale, so kilogram bag of sugar, just use 3/4 of it. It's rough. For the next part, we have to have something that's going to stop the sugar from recrystallising, which is some sort of syrup. Now, if you're Australian or American, Canadian, you're probably going to find it easy to get corn syrup. In Britain, we tend not to have corn syrup, as in clear corn syrup. We have something called golden syrup, which is a byproduct of sugar making. So that's what I've used. Now, it's not clear, which is what the recipe calls for, but I didn't have too much problem with it. So golden syrup, corn syrup, whichever, so long as it's some sort of syrup to stop the sugar from recrystallising once it's dry. Then we put the saucepan over a medium-low heat. First we've got to bring it to a boil, and then we just let the water slowly evaporate out of it. To begin with, I stirred the sugar in order to prevent it from sticking to the sides, but once it's got up to temperature it does just mix itself with convection currents, so you don't need to watch it too closely. But a tip for you when you're working with sugar like this: see, when you get boiling water splashed on you when you're cooking something like pasta, it's hot and it burns and you go ow and you wipe it off, but there's no real serious damage. And that's because the water's never in contact with you long enough for it to actually burn. Sugar is sticky, and if it splats on you, like a bubble burst and some splats, or you accidentally spill some, it's going to stick and burn and apply that heat for a long period of time, and it can be very dangerous. So treat hot sugar as if it is molten lava, because it's that kind of danger. The temperature you want to get to, if you've got a thermometer, is about 300 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 150 degrees centigrade. I don't have a thermometer, so I didn't use that. I guesstimated the temperature and how long it was on there for. I just thought once it looked like it was about done, I poured it. Spoiler alert, the first time I did it, I'd taken it off the heat too soon, or I didn't get it up to temperature enough, so it was still syrupy once it had cooled. But it wasn't a complete loss. All I had to do was pour it back into the saucepan, or rather spoon it back into the saucepan, reheat it, and it will just turn into a liquid again, and you can just get more of that water out of it. Once you're done and you've boiled off all the water, well, enough of the water, pour it into a baking tray or something that's flat. You might want to put some silicone or what I use as a baking sheet down on it just to prevent it from sticking to your tray, and then leave it to cool until it's completely cool. It needs to be room temperature, and then it should turn crystally. With mine, it ended up a bit cloudy, and the reason for that is once I reheated it, I thought, let's play with the ratios a bit, and I put some more sugar in, and that ended up being too much sugar. If I hadn't put the extra sugar in, it would have turned glassy, which is what it did the first time when it was syrupy. But my reheating and adding sugar caused it to be slightly cloudy. Overall though, I think it's turned out quite well, and I'm off to make myself some cash, I think. Is there a car wash for sale?